Hello, I am Marisha and welcome to my creative diary. I hope you're having a great day. So today I'm going to use simple shape dies to create this easy Christmas card. Let's get started. First, I'm going to bring in Distress Watercolor Cardstock, and I'm going to use Distress Reinkers Prize Ribbon and Salvaged Patina to create my background. I'm going to bring in my watercolor brush, and using some water, I'm going to wet my cardstock, and then from there I'm going to apply prize ribbon first and then salvage patina. Once I'm done, I'm going to bring in my heat tool to apply some heat to aid in the drying of this watercolor background. Then from there, I'm going to bring in my Liquitex acrylic wash, and I'm going to apply some water to thin out the paint. And then from there, I'm going to bring in my paintbrush and give it a few taps to add some splatter. Then I'm going to bring in my heat tool again to add some heat for a quick dry. Off camera, I used a rectangle die to cut down the panel, and I'm going to use the next size up to die cut an iridescent cardstock to create a mat for the card. Off camera, I used Simon Says Stamps Holy Stars die set to die cut the star out of gold metallic cardstock. For the circle shapes, I used Hero Art's Infinity Nested Shape die set. And for the ovals, which will be used for the head covering and the outfit of Mary and Joseph, and the swaddling clothes for baby Jesus, I used Waffle Flowers Nesting Ovals die set. Next, I'm going to bring in some Distress Oxide, Vintage Photo, and I'm going to add some shading to the circles, which will actually resemble the face of Mary, Joseph, and baby Jesus. I'm then going to bring in Distress Oxide's Hickory Smoke, and I'm going to add shading to the head covering and the clothing for Joseph and the swaddling clothes for baby Jesus. Next, this is what I would like to call a happy accident. The joys of creating. So I brought in tumbled glass to add some shading, and as you can see right here, I'm like, no, this color doesn't go together. I should have used salvage patina, but come to find out, I don't have salvage patina in my stash, not the oxide. I only have the reinker. I said that's the closest color. So I decided to bring in Hickory Smoke, and I was like, okay, let me try this out and see how it will work out. So I began to blend. I'm like, okay. Then I decided to bring in the brush that had Vintage Photo on it. And I was like, oh, Lord, what have you done, Marisha? But I'm like, no, keep going. You got to keep going. So I brought back in Hickory Smoke, and I just began to blend. And I'm like, okay, I love how this is turning out. So the moral of this story is to, before you commit, experiment. I always say it. I always encourage you all to do that. And I do the same. I'm like, okay, let me try this out and see what's going to happen. You know, all you have to do is just try and just see how it turns out. You might be surprised. And I'm really happy with how Mary's outfit turned out. I was actually so happy that I decided to do the same blend on the rest of the shapes that I die cut out. So I just added the Vintage Photo to the other pieces. And right here I am assembling Mary. So now I'm going to attach her to her headpiece. Then I'm going to repeat this step with Joseph. And the only difference is with Joseph, I'm going to use the second brown oval shape to cut off in the end. And then I'm going to adhere a piece of gold metallic cardstock. Then I'm going to trim the excess off. And then I'm going to adhere this piece to the head covering. Now here's a tip, trick, hack, whatever you want to call it. You can add foam tape in between the pieces to make Mary and Joseph a 3D element for your card. Now I'm going to assemble baby Jesus. So as you see, I adhered the circle to the oval base, and then I brought in a second smaller oval base to kind of resemble the swaddling clothes. Now I'm going to position the elements on the card front, and I'm going to use my adhesive glue to adhere everything to the card. I want to encourage you to search your stash to see what do you have in there that you can use to create your cards. Look at your shapes. Look at them from a different point of view. I know some of you reached out to me regarding my Simple Shapes card series, so I thought, okay, let me go through my stash, see what I have, and create a card. So I hope this does inspire you. Next, I'm going to cut off the excess to the card front, and I'm going to adhere the panel to the mat, and then from there I'm going to adhere this front to my card base. My card base is an A2 standard size top folding card, and I did use 110-pound cardstock. And there you have it. This card is done. I love this card. Very simple and easy to create for this Christmas season. Thank you so much for joining me on today. I appreciate you for stopping by. Don't forget to subscribe, click the thumbs up button and the notification bell. I'm sending you love and a whole lot of hugs. Until next time, please take care.